Hey guys, Haley Randall here. Welcome to my channel where I discuss a wide variety of fitness and powerlifting related topics. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So what I'm going to be doing today is I had posted on my Instagram and on my story a couple days ago that I'd be doing a Q&A video. So I'm going to answer as many of the questions that I got as possible in this video. And they're like very wide variety of like topics. Like there's some fitness type questions, there's some personal type questions. So I'm just gonna like run through them and get through as many as I can. I kind of feel like I want to switch up my seating arrangement because like when I don't have a back on the chair, I kind of like want to sit like this. It's not really the vibe I'm going for. Yeah, I've still got my Christmas tree up also. That's better. Benji doesn't like it because he can't sit on me now. But he will sit behind me and be in the whole video. Before I get started here, I have a question for you guys. So I would like to right now I use the camera on my computer, which is fine. As long as I mess around with the lighting a bit, I can usually make it okay. But I want like I want to kind of start doing more like day in the life and like vlog style videos and like videotape some workouts and stuff. So I want to get like an actual like, I guess like video camera or digital camera or whatever. So what do you guys, if you guys do anything like that, like I'm looking, I guess, for like some camera recommendations here. So if you have any of those for me, please comment them down below and I would so much appreciate it. But anyways, I will get into the Q&A now. So question is from Shelby Ullman and she says, "Hi Haley, my name is Shelby Ullman and I am a powerlifter and a pageant girl. And I was wondering if you have any tips or tricks for toning legs." So this is probably like the number one question that I ever get is either about toning legs or building legs, or I think it's just because like I'm so like my legs are so big compared to the rest of my body that I get asked about legs all the time. Honestly, if you are training as a powerlifter, so my answer is like my advice would have been to lift heavy and eat in a bit of a surplus until you've built some leg muscles, and then once you were happy with the amount of leg muscle that you had built, then you need to like get your nutrition on point, maybe do a little bit of a cut in order to show off the muscle that you've built under there. So if you're already a power lifter and you're training lifting heavy style, like just keep up with that, eat to build muscle, and then once you've got the muscle built, it will be much easier to have that, I guess it's not really toned, but I know what look you're trying to go for, and that toned look will follow if you do that. So next question, this one honestly is such a good question. Like it really threw me for a loop and I thought about it a lot and I'm still not really sure, 100% sure of the answer, but I'm gonna give it a go here. So this is from Troughton31. So she says, "You seem to be in a very easygoing and friendly federation. There are some federations like mine that put massive restrictions on what suits, sleeves, t-shirts, socks can and can't be used for competitions, including footwear. In my case, all of the items come from America or the United Kingdom, which having a weak exchange is rather costly and eliminates a lot of people from competing due to the restrictions and price. Do you feel that powerlifting has taken an elitist approach, and do you think that anyone should be able to compete with whatever they have available, barring if you are going for a record and such?" So yeah, I don't have a federation necessarily. I've competed now in 3 different federations. I kind of just go on like when meets are like open that fit with my schedule. But yeah, I do know that some federations are stricter than others in terms of like what you can wear and what you can't wear. I've never competed in a federation that is super strict about that stuff. But I guess like my main concern would be, why aren't more accessible items being approved by your federation? And I think that's something that like you may need to look into if you feel that your federation is overly strict on this stuff, because I totally understand that like there has to be some ground rules and there has to be some regulations, and even like having a list of approved equipment does, I guess, make some sense in terms of like making everything very clear cut. But I would just hope that a federation that was going to be super strict about that stuff at least made the effort to ensure that there was affordable and accessible equipment on their list of approved things. And if that's not the case, and it is truly stopping people from competing because of the costs, yeah, I don't. One of the great things about powerlifting is how accessible of a sport it is. Like, you can basically jump into it pretty quickly and do a meet and get going. So I hope that if that's stopping people from competing, that they maybe think about like trying a different federation that does allow them to compete with the equipment that they have. But yeah, that's a really good and really, really tricky question. So thank you for that. I liked that. It made me think. Question comes from Carly Geyer. As an extremely novice lifter, what were some ways you overcame the struggle of finally hitting numbers in the gym that are platform worthy and dealing with failure of attempting to reach aforementioned worthy numbers? So this is such a common question. Like, it's always phrased in a different way, but I get it so often. Like, So I just did my powerlifting seminar yesterday, actually, with a bunch of younger girls who are interested in getting into the sport. And I was talking about this in pretty great detail, because I do notice that a lot of girls will message me and ask, like, these are my numbers, am I ready to compete? Or what numbers do I need to hit before I'm ready to compete? And what I always say is, like, by the time you're asking this question, like, you're probably ready to choose a meet and sign up. Like, there's no magic numbers. Every meet I've ever been to has had such a wide variety of skill levels, from like complete beginners to like super, super amazing lifters. And everyone is generally like super, super nice and super helpful. And nobody, I promise you, nobody will ever like make fun of you or make you feel uncomfortable for the numbers that you're hitting. Everyone will cheer for you. Everyone will be happy for you. Powerlifting is a me versus me sport. You're competing with yourself first and foremost. So go in, hit the best numbers you can, and then the next meet you do, just try to improve on those. That's all you can do, is the best that you can do. So I definitely think like just having that mindset of like, you can only do the best that you can do. So don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Do it to compete with yourself. If you develop that mindset and really believe that, then you can be ready for a meet at any point. Okay, so next question comes from J King Lift, and I just want to give this guy a shout out, because he is honestly like, he's been following me on Instagram for a while, and he is seriously one of the most like positive people that I have ever met. He has a nice word for every single person. He never says anything negative to anyone, and he's just so like, you can just tell that he loves this sport. So yeah, shout out to you and thank you so much for all your support. And he says, what's the biggest weight you ever want to lift for your squat, bench, and deads? Also, in the future, would you ever quit powerlifting and do a bodybuilding style of training, or will you stick with powerlifting forever? So I don't have a cap. I haven't placed a cap on myself for the squat, bench, and dead. I still feel like I'm basically a beginner. I've only been competing for a year and a half, going on 2 years. So I like to think that like the sky's the limit for my potential still. And I'm not even going to try to put a cap on it yet. But as for if I would ever quit powerlifting and do bodybuilding style, I really, really doubt it. Kudos to people who like doing the bodybuilding thing. It's just never been something that's appealed to me. So probably not. I mean, bodybuilding style training, maybe like far in the future. I would like to keep training like a powerlifter for as long as I can. Even if that doesn't necessarily mean competing, who knows? If I was going to switch, I feel like strongman is something that I'm really interested in giving a try. So it would be more likely to be something like that I would switch to. This one's funny. So Aaron McDonald Powerlifting says, now that you're getting more Instagram famous, do people treat you different? Honestly, like people who I know in my day-to-day life, like my family and my friends and stuff like that, no. They, if anything, they just kind of like find it amusing. Like my brother and Derek are definitely my two biggest critics when it comes to my videos. And so they definitely don't treat me any different other than that. I don't think I'm like Insta famous or anything by any means. I'm honored that so many people are interested in my lifting journey and follow me and ask me questions and follow along with what I'm doing. But I don't think that I'm like there's people obviously who have a way bigger following than I ever will. But the one thing that I have noticed is like pretty much everyone at school follows me on Instagram, and a lot of them, I guess, watch my YouTube. So like they will talk to me about it, but like not in a strange way, just in like a, how did your competition go? How did your deadlift go? Like in a super, super nice and supportive way, which is honestly like gives me the warm and fuzzies every time it happens anyways. So that's the only thing that I would say, but it's a nice thing. So, okay. And the last question that I'm going to do today, this one was also from J King Lifts, and he says, would you ever get any other plastic surgical procedures done, or was the breast lift and implants the only one that you want? So I don't know. Right now there's nothing else that I can think of that I want other than possibly like laser hair removal. So I don't know if you consider that like a plastic surgical procedure. That's something I would definitely get done tomorrow if I had the money for it. But the only one that I ever really wanted was the boobs, and that's done now. But anyways, guys, that's going to be all for today. Please comment below if you have any like camera recommendations for me. I really want to start doing like a different kind of video here and there, some like vlogging type style videos. I find those like, I think they would be really cool for me to do, to show you guys, you know, what goes into my nutrition, what goes into my workouts, rather than just like sitting here and telling you. But I need a camera that's like good for that type of video. So please leave those recommendations, comment them down below. And thank you guys all so much for all your great questions. And also thank you everyone who came out yesterday to my powerlifting seminar, and for everyone who donated money to Hiatus House through that. I appreciate you guys so much. I had such a good time. I loved meeting you all, and I would love to do more things like that in the future, because it was just like such a fun day for me. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.